Over the past 25 years of living, one of the most important things I've learned is to believe in action. You know, talking, words can be can hide the true intentions, can hide everything. It's come to a point to where people are so good at concealing their intentions. People are good at showing a different kind of body language, good at hiding what they're really deep down are scheming. Right? You always gotta believe the actions as opposed to the words. I don't say that to say I'm better than anybody, I know more, blah blah blah. I'm just saying this to help you guys be careful who you have around you. Because fact of the matter is, friends have a certain action. People that are real have a certain action. They won't have to say it. People that mean well have a certain action. Good workers have a certain action. Lazy people have a certain action. And it comes down to the things you say and the things you do. Most likely, the things you do. I really try to use my introverted side to really observe, to really listen, and to really see what people do, right? To really see what people do. Because I can be both. I'm more on the quiet side, I'm really to myself. But when I am extroverted, I like to say stuff that's important during that time. But when I'm introverted, I like to really, really analyze a person, really see what they're doing, see their actions. To my conclusion, I've come to the things that make a person's their history and what they're doing on a consistent basis. Because it's easy to be fooled by a pretty face. It's easy to be fooled by someone that looks trustworthy, someone that knows how to seduce, someone that's persuasive, someone that's a sweet talker, right? Because you can learn how to do it. You can learn how to seduce. You can learn how to be persuasive. You can learn how to inspire. You can learn how to get someone on your side, right? It's a skill. It's a skill. But at the same time, if the actions don't match that, you gotta ask yourself the question: is this really something I can trust? Is this really someone I can trust? Because nowadays, we're really good actors. We're really good at concealing our intentions. We're really good at hiding emotions, right? And it's so dangerous if you're not aware of that. You always got to look at the actions first. Words can be twisted around, and in the combination of facial expression, body language, and if you're a really good actor and if you really know what you're doing, you can really trick people, right? People know how to string you along until they got what they need from you, right? Not everybody, but the most advanced actors, I should say, know how to do that. String you along until they get what they need from you and bounce. We got to be careful. You always got to look at a person's actions first. Someone real doesn't have to say they're real. Someone authentic doesn't have to say they're authentic. Someone that's a hard worker shows it. Someone that has goals and dreams and aspirations that's important to them isn't gonna make excuses, isn't gonna do things to take the shortcut. They're gonna demonstrate through their actions that's important to them and that they really want it. How do you know to even trust a page you follow, for example? First of all, how often do they post? Second of all, what kind of stuff do they post about? What kind of stuff do they talk about? And how often are they trying to sell you stuff? Right? You always gotta pay attention to actions, right? And someone that truly wants to help you and truly means well, you also gotta pay attention to that. I'm not saying this stuff because I'm better. I'm saying this stuff because I'm learning, and hopefully, for someone that didn't learn this stuff before me, can learn it now and better their lives, right? But you always gotta believe actions first, because Words are thrown around like garbage. Words are thrown around like a ball, like a football. We'll often forget about the thing that makes the words mean something, the action behind it, right? And yes, you can use words to manifest things, and a lot of times things can come true with how much you say it and how much your mindset changes. But at the same time, if there's no action taken, those words are reduced to not really that much, right? So you always gotta believe the actions first. So if you have dreams and goals and you are a good friend and blah blah blah, the actions have to match it too. That's what I'm trying to say, right? So as I'm growing and growing, the more and more words I hear that sound the same and that are to boost my ego, make my head bigger, and you're this, you're that, you're cool, you look good, blah blah blah. I only believe the actions. You're gonna have to prove it to me. You gotta have that mindset. You're gonna have to prove you say it. You're gonna have to prove what you're saying. I used to be able to do that when I was younger. I used to be able to. I used to be inspiring. I used to. Excuses and used tos. If there's no evidence, if there's nothing to show the actions, it's not real to me. Believe the actions, right? You often get tricked a lot. If you're someone that's truly, if you're someone that isn't challenging, if you're someone that is gullible, if you're someone that believes anything, bro, you're in danger. Anybody to deceive you into doing anything you don't want to do, right? Because man is tough. It's tough, especially with the people that have it down pat. You just believe them. They look good, they look nice, they look cool, they seem to be really perfect, and you just believe everything they say. But forget to pay attention to the actions that are right in front of you. Right? That's how people get hurt. That's how people go into things they're not meant to be going into. That's how people get in trouble to the point to where they can't get out of it. Always believe actions first. Always. Always. I'm not saying words aren't really important, but don't place all your eggs in the basket if that's what makes you understand better. Know what I mean? Pay attention to the doing. Pay attention to the action. Pay attention to the history also. Because the history and the actions now can show you a bigger picture. I'm not saying people can't change. I'm not saying that whatever a person did in the past determines what they are now. But I am saying whatever they did and whatever they're doing now has a connection, right? Maybe they changed and maybe they're trying to get better and their actions now show that they're being a better person. Maybe their actions in the past and their actions now are in line and it can show you more about how the person is, right? Regardless of what they're saying. Regardless of how much they say they're improving, how much they say they're a good person, how much they say they're real, how much they say they are a certain way. Do the actions show that though? I felt like I needed to say this, man, this Wednesday. Truly an important message because it's easy to be deceived. And another thing too is when you watch stuff on the news, on social media, and all these things, don't just be quick to believe it, right? That's another thing too. Don't be quick to believe anything. Look at the actions behind it. Look at the actions, right? Fact of the matter is, I don't care if you say you're a good friend. I don't care if you say you're a good worker. I don't care what goals you say you have. If the actions don't match it, the words mean absolutely nothing. Right? You gotta be a bit strict. You gotta be a bit hard to convince. You gotta be difficult in a way, right? Anyway, I felt like I needed to say this. I felt like this is an important message, and hopefully it can help somebody, right? It's not a message that's meant to please people because it's real, because it's something that is deep, right? You gotta pay attention to that. Pay attention to what things are being done as opposed to what things are said to you. Don't be easily tricked. Don't be easily deceived, right? Use your logic for things. Ask a lot of questions. Why is this being said, but this is being done? That's it. That's all I got today. Hopefully it gets you guys thinking. That's the whole purpose.